Well, hello my fine gardening friends. How the devil are you? Welcome to a bit of a damp and humid evening actually. A damp and humid evening here in beautiful Nova Scotia. As you can see, I'm in the greenhouse. I'm in the greenhouse because it's damp and humid. It's a bit drier in here obviously. And I'm taking a bit of a chance to prep or give my soil, not my plants, my soil, a bit of a feed. As you can see, the soil itself in the bed here has shrunk down quite a bit, as as compost has a want to do. You know, when you put it in the bed, it's going to shrink down a bit. So I thought I'd give the soil a bit of a boost, because my tomato plants, as you can see, are in peak growing at the moment. They are, you know, giant up to the ceiling, most of them, and lots of fruit on these sun gold here. Beautiful fruit all the way up, and I've got some big fat Roma. They're all coming along there, but they're all doing really nicely. But I thought I'd give the soil a bit of a boost, not just for now, but for later on in the autumn time when I'm going to be growing some other things in there. So I thought I'd give all the sort of microorganisms and stuff a chance to pull all of this great compost I've got here into the soil there, and then when I plant my stuff later on, when the tomatoes are over, they'll immediately get to work feeding the plants, the soil itself. And I'm going to do an experiment. You know me, I like an experiment. I'm going to try and grow some broccoli in here, get it in nice and early, and hopefully I'll be eating broccoli. And I've done it before outside with a bit of cover, but I'll have a bit more cover. I'm going to try a bit of broccoli all the way into the sort of early winter time, and hopefully that'll give me a nice crop around Christmas time. What do you reckon? Good idea, not good idea? Let me know in the comments. But that brings me to, and here are my little broccoli I got here, Waltham something or another. But there's a few just starting to come through here, so hopefully I'll have more than 3. But we might be in peak sort of harvesting season. I'm harvesting runner beans and purple beans and yellow beans and basil and tomatoes now. All sorts of things I'm being able to harvest now. But it's what are we in, the second week in August already. But it's still not too late to be planting or sowing some seeds so that we can get a bit of a succession crop going. Oh, mosquito, haha, the blackguard. Not too late so that we can have a succession crop going into the autumn time. And even though here in Nova Scotia, as I said a million times, we often get early frosts, things like in the greenhouse, I can protect them, but other things like carrots and your different sort of lettuce and stuff don't mind a little bit of a frost, as long as they've had a good head start, which they will do if we plant or sow some seeds now. So why don't we, let me finish chucking all this in there, and then I'll come straight back and we'll talk about some of the plants or some of the seeds that we can sow now for a harvest in the autumn time. So as I said, and as you can see, I've got runner beans coming now, 10 to the dozen. The tunnel's up, all the flowers are starting to go on the runner beans, and lots of runner beans coming now. Got yellow beans coming over there. And a couple of weeks ago I also planted up these yellow beans, these bush beans, after my onion harvest, and I'd already sown those in the greenhouse, and they're now soon ready to start flowering, and they'll be giving me a follow-on harvest of yellow beans after those yellow beans are done. But it is still not too late to actually sow some yellow beans. You've probably got about another week or so, you know, depending on how far north you are. The further south, you know, you've got probably a bit more time, and if you're all the way down Dallas way, you don't particularly want to do it. You want to wait a good month or so. But anyway, where was I? Yellow beans, yes. Got another week or so really to sow some yellow beans, whether you're pre-sow them in the greenhouse or straight in the ground now. The ground is nice and hot. You know, we have had an absolutely red hot summer, and I know lots of places around the world, you know, down in the States, you've had a really hot summer. The UK have had it ridiculous. So the ground is nice and warm. The days are still nice and long enough for them. The beans will germinate quickly and they'll grow quickly if you keep them watered. So you'll be able to get a crop of those into the autumn time, a welcome crop of beans, you know, just as your runner beans and your other pole beans are starting to tail off. You'll have a quick harvest of the bush beans. So not too late to do those. Get on those, just get them in the ground anywhere you've got a bit of space, or like I said, in some trays, and then as soon as you get a bit of space in the next few weeks, once they've germinated, you can plant them out. Like I said, I'm doing a bit of an experiment with my broccoli. So the other types of tell you what, I think I'm going a bit memory man. I can't remember the other types of broccoli and cabbagey type things. Anyway, those. Still not too late to sow some broccoli for a, you know, sort of an early winter harvest. And you guys, like in the UK and stuff, you can go a little bit longer because you won't get such hard frosts as we do here. Early, anyway. So broccoli, kale doesn't mind a bit of cool weather. I've got some red cabbage as well. I'm going to plant some red cabbage. So in that those few little seed trays that I'd already sown up, I had some red cabbage. Not too late to sow some red cabbage outside and in. You'll get something around Christmas time. A nice, beautiful red cabbage with some bacon, etc. Bit of red wine vinegar. Mwah, beautiful with your Christmas dinner. So that's not too late for that. So any of your broccoli, what are they called? I just can't remember. Anything like that. What else we got? Spring onions. So any of your green onions, if you sow some green onions now, they'll grow, and into the autumn time again, you can be picking them into the winter, so they don't mind that. Your lettuces. So, you know, we love lettuce in the summer, but really they don't actually like the hot weather. But now is a really good time to be sowing your lettuce, your rocket. I'd already sown some rocket, but I'm going to sow some more. Rocket, any of your mustards, anything like that. The quick growing greens, get them in now. They definitely don't mind a bit of cool weather, and well into the autumn you can be growing them. As long as they've had a good start now, they'll grow nicely all the way into the autumn, and you can be picking those lovely at that time of year. Carrots. Now, I've got some carrots going there, obviously still, but sow some carrots now, and they definitely don't mind a bit of cool weather, because a bit of frost really sweetens them up. So if you get some rows of carrots in now, they keep them watered, obviously still hot this time of year, and they won't germinate unless they're nice and damp. So make sure they're well watered, and if you sow them now, you will get a nice harvest of those around late autumn, early winter, again having some for your Christmas dinner. I might try them again in the greenhouse, but definitely they will do out here. Brassicas, that's what I was talking. So any of your brassicas, purple sprouting, any of that sort of stuff, that's the stuff that really do well. But kale is quite quick growing as well, and that, you know, you don't have to wait for that flower like you will with the broccoli and stuff. So that's a really good one. Chard, anything like that, get that in sown now for real nice autumn harvests. So there we go. There's just a few different seeds that we can be planting, or sowing rather, at this time of year. So we've got our lettuces and our rocket, etc., the mustards, some of the brassicas, get them in now. They'll do well into the autumn. Carrots definitely will do well. Just make sure you keep them watered now when it's really dry. Get some bush beans in for an early autumn harvest, and it's not all everything now and nothing later. Getting that succession harvest, succession sowing all the way through the spring, summer, into the autumn, and we will be eating Well, and seeing off those blackguards putting all the prices up, because there's nothing like, and there's nothing as cheap as a nice bit of homegrown fruit and veg, eh? My black berries are fruiting now. Ooh la la. Job's a good one.